What's going on, guys? This is Cox. If you're a returning viewer or listener, thank you for coming back. I just wanted to say once again, please drop a comment in the comment section below so that we can engage with you on the things that you like, that you don't like, just different topics that you may have that we haven't gone over yet that you'd love to discuss with us. We're very open to that, so please drop that in the comment section, as well as also please give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you're listening on a podcast, please review our podcast, give us a positive review, and just let us know how we're doing. This week in the episode, we're going to be talking about the game on Saturday against Columbus that we've dubbed the Tsunami Match. It was a bit of a pisser, but we're going to go over that. We're also going to go over the game coming up on 4/13 against New England and some of the details of the international break, some of our players that played for their national teams, how they did, how we felt about it, the pros and cons and all of that. So again, we'll see you at the next video, and go Atlanta. Alright guys, hello and welcome, and thanks for coming back for another episode of Cox and Bry Talk Kicky, where we talk all things Atlanta United soccer. This week we are going to be highlighting basically the short international break that went on and some of the time that our players spent away from the team, and then the Columbus game that just happened over the weekend, and then we'll look forward to the New England game that's happening on April 13th. As always, we got Bry on the phone coming in from Florida. How you doing, Bry?
Doing fantastic. How about you, Cox?
Man, doing good. Can't complain. But yeah, first let's just kind of jump right in and talk a little bit about the international break. It's a really good opportunity for some of our young guys to get some exposure. I know Pity got to start actually for Argentina, which was awesome. And Joseph actually started as well for Venezuela, and they got to match up, and that was a good game actually to watch. And that was pretty cool. I love seeing Pity get that kind of exposure playing with Messi and some of those guys. So that was really, really cool to see. And then on top of that, LGP got pulled up for his game with his country. And then for the U20s, we had Barco playing for the younger Argentinian team. And Andrew Carlton got called up again for the U.S. So that was pretty cool. So we had,
I think you meant Tito, not LGP.
Was it Tito who got pulled up?
Yeah, Tito plays for Paraguay with Mickey.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's my fault. I thought it was LGP.
Yeah. No, it's all good. He did the one-time switch because he's Argentinian, but he switched over to Paraguayan because I guess he has dual citizenship there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, sweet. Yeah, and so it was a good time. I thought Pity played pretty well. Like I said, it was definitely good for him to get that exposure up top. Joseph played really good, I thought. Got a PK for his team, and I thought Venezuela actually played really well, so that was kind of surprising. And then I didn't get a chance to see Barco play, but apparently he played pretty good for the U20s for Argentina.
Yeah, I didn't get to physically see Barco play, or Carlton, or Robinson, but I did see a highlight of Carlton scoring a nice curler. It was a banger, and I was also really happy for Robinson to get the call-up because obviously with the play he's had this season, he's really deserved that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see the IQ level of the coaching staff that Berhalter's brought in kind of trickling down to the U20s, I felt like, as well. Like, it seemed like what you've been seeing from the new national team up top, I just feel like players knowing their roles better and their positions better a little bit than they have in the past. I felt like that was trickling down to the U20s as well, and I thought they understood their game plan and understood their roles pretty well.
Right. Yeah, I'm still kind of trying to grasp Berhalter's whole philosophy, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far with the personnel he's bringing in.
Yeah, seems to be doing well. I like what he's doing. It seems like he's been actually sending a lot of film to players and stuff like that. Obviously, we're not here to talk about the national team, but it's exciting stuff. I'm just excited to hear about it.
Yeah, of course.
So then,
we're all Americans here, right?
Right, exactly. America. So then, after the break, came back. Some teams did have a game during the break. Luckily, we did not. Don't think that would have boded too well for us. But then we came in. We went to Columbus and played that game. and there was some factors involved there. How'd that one go? How'd you feel about it, Bryson?
So, so much to say. Um, well, first let's address the elephant in the room. The weather was horrendous. We had a 1 hour gap starting at about the 30th minute, where they paused the game and then for whatever reason continued play. I did hear that in some post-game interviews that the referee was considering stopping the match around the 75th minute, but he didn't. Here's the big thing, though. Maybe it did affect the game, maybe it didn't, but we lost, and that it is what it is. We can't really change it, and we didn't look great. We haven't looked great this season, so we can't blame the weather, obviously. The 2 goals that Columbus scored, one of them was kind of lucky. Maybe it slipped through because of the conditions, and it was a tap in at the back post. But the second goal was a classic, take it down the wing, cut it back right to the penalty spot, and it was a clean finish by Zardes. So that goal, it was like, typically the stuff we've seen all season. So, whether or not the Columbus Crew handed it to us, they're a solid team. They've been doing it all season so far. So
Yeah, a little bit trouble.
That's what I thought about this one.
Little bit of trouble marking in the back. Did you think that was partly due to Escobar coming in?
Yeah, so he came in and we switched up the formation. We started playing a 4-3-3. Not sure why. Maybe it was the fans moaning and groaning about our formation. Maybe it was because Escobar was in. Maybe it was because PD was out. I don't know, but I did like the change. I thought he played good, not great, but that's to be expected after the time off and gaining full fitness and all that stuff. But I'm really happy to see him back based off of the form he had at the end of last season, and hopefully he can start to get that back. That'd be huge for us.
Yeah.
To have that stability over on the right and somebody who can consistently provide opportunities and even score goals.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that, like you said, that person who can potentially come in and score some goals, that might be a huge game changer for us. So that could be a big part. But do you feel like we made improvements? Do you feel like we took steps in the right direction, or?
Right. It was hard to say with the whole weather thing and not having Pity Martinez on the field. But I think there was some promising stuff. We had a couple of close chances.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Steffen made some incredible saves. And obviously, he's the U.S. national team keeper. He's a national team level goalkeeper, and it showed. He had a fantastic game, especially with the conditions. He was incredible.
Yeah.
He kept out a Barco attempt. He kept out a Josef attempt. And like with those two, it could have easily been 2-2, but it wasn't. But yeah, we did create chances. So yeah, I think we did improve, and I like the formation switch. I think it's all good, but we really need to score more goals. We need to create more chances, and that's just the bottom line.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, 4 games in, we have 2 points. But the good news is, and it's kind of a silver lining, but we've only given up 6 goals, and that's not stellar. It's not amazing. But when you look over at, like, San Jose has played 4 games and given up, like, 14 goals or something around that. So,
Right.
it's definitely there. But like you said, we got to figure out a way to score goals. So how are we going to...
Yeah, no, you're right. Our defense is, the same, almost, maybe a little better, maybe a little worse than last season. Not much different. And our defense is decent. Miles Robinson had the season of his life so far this season, short season that we've played so far, and our defense looks decent, especially considering we don't really have a true left back, and we've filled in random people in right back. With all that considered, we've been doing fantastic on defense. The offense and the midfield aren't carrying us through like they did before. That's the only difference. We need more chances. We need more goals.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, and soon I think we'll get to finally see the look of the entire team all there together, without international breaks and all that different stuff going on, and CONCACAF and all of that. Because, like you said, I like this formation, but we couldn't open it up the way I'm sure we want to with the weather, and then on top of that, Pity's not there. So it's really, really tough to get a full grasp on this team, honestly, and figure out
Mm-hmm.
anything about how they're actually going to be able to look. But yeah, I mean, there's got to be, you see teams, not to be rude, but teams with much less offensive firepower that still find a way to score goals. So we just got to find a
Exactly.
way to score goals.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We're just not finding a way to do it. We're not finding a way to win. And we always did that last season.
Yeah.
We always found a way, and we're just not doing it. I think a lot of it comes down to Pity Martinez. He hasn't had enough of an impact. He literally, I'm not even figuratively, wasn't there against Columbus. He actually wasn't on the field.
Yeah.
But soon enough, he's gonna click.
Right.
And he's gonna start producing assists and goals for us.
Right.
It's just a matter of time. I mean, he's the CONCACAF Player of the Year last season. That's all of South America. Okay, that's a lot of really good players and teams that he was up against, and he was the best player.
Right.
So at some point, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And when that does, that's going to make a world of difference for our offense. I think it'll bring up Barco's game. It'll bring up Josef's game for sure, because that's what Miggy did for Josef.
Right.
Miggy elevated Josef to the level he was at last season.
Yeah, Josef's not one of those big stand-up type of strikers that can, put his back against the back line and kind of hold up play and work it that way. He's better about getting slipped through. And
Exactly.
the important part of doing that is the midfielders who are slipping through have got to draw pressure. They've got to pull at least one of the two center backs forward to give Josef at least like a one-on-one opportunity. And then if he gets one-on-one with the goalie, it's game over. I mean, he's going to chip him. He's going to go around him. He's going to do something. But, yeah, we got to find that guy who's able to take on a defender and get that space for Josef. And like you said, I mean, just off of last year, the stats were blaringly obvious. When Miggy was in, Josef scored he scored a goal less than every 90 minutes. And without him, it was like 178 minutes or 170-something minutes per goal without Miggy in. And so the stat is pretty obvious on that if somebody's not there to draw the pressure in the midfield, Josef is going to have a much harder time creating opportunities on his own. And that's not his fault. He's a smaller forward, like I said. He's an incredible finisher.
Right, that's not his style. He is a great forward, but he's not Zlatan Ibrahimovic, okay?
Yeah, he's not Zlatan. He's not Zardes. He's not Altidore. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Once Pity Martinez's game clicks, it's going to be game over for other teams. Other defense are going to be shaking in their boots like they did last season. We just have to get there. We just have to be patient, and it will happen.
Right. Yeah, I think we're heading in the right direction still, and I'm still optimistic for the team. I think we got a good chance. We have a decent stretch coming up, so that should help as well. I'm also interested to see, I haven't heard much yet, if we are going to try to do anything in the summer transfer window. I know there's still some time for that, but I'm always interested to see. I feel like MLS does a lot with that summer transfer window, and so I'm curious to see if Atlanta tries to go out and find just one more piece potentially for the team.
Right, and I'd love to see something to go on the left back position, but we made a lot of big moves this offseason, so it would be easy to say, yeah, we probably won't make any signings, but as fans, everybody wants to hear that big signing news every transfer window.
Right.
You're waiting for your team's Instagram or Twitter to pop off with a big announcement or an announcement about a future announcement, and then you get really excited.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, anything else you wanted to say about that game in particular?
No, I'm pretty much good on the Columbus game. I do have a few things to say about the New England game coming up, if you're ready to move on.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'm just, the main thing for me with this match coming up is it's away, it's in New England, so it's going to be a little tougher on the road, but here's the thing, New England has 3 losses, a win, and a tie. They tied FC Dallas, which is meh. Not too much in that. FC Dallas is good, not great. They lost to Columbus 2-0 like we did. They barely lost to Toronto 3-2. They lost to FC Cincinnati 2-0, who's FC Cincinnati's a good team, and they beat Minnesota United, which isn't super impressive. But they're having a similar season to us is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Maybe a little better, maybe the same, maybe a little worse, but it's close. We need to take this opportunity to go on the road, put some goals in the back of the net and put some belief back in our fans.
Yeah, so right now, like you said, they have a win and a draw, so they're at 4 points. That is with an extra game. We're sitting at the very bottom of the East, which is really sad to look at, but just 2 points so far. So like you said, we need the points. The goal differential is already slipping away from us. It's at -4. So, yeah, we really need to step up, get some goals in the net. I mean, honestly, if we tied 2-2 or even 3-3 or something like that, I wouldn't be as disappointed with the tie as long as we're getting goals. But if we tie like 0-0, 1-1, I'm still concerned. We got to figure out a way to at least get some goals in the net. And
here's my thing. I don't think we can afford a tie at all because the state our fans are in and the state that our players are in, everyone together is just really frustrated and disappointed.
Right.
I don't think we can handle another tie to a subpar team because that's not who we are.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the same time, like you said, New England is not the best team, and as we've seen so far, the West is actually stronger than the East. So we need to get these easy points. I say easy. None of the points are easy for us right now, but these easier games, we got to take the 3 points when we can before we go over to a West Coast road trip or over to just the top teams in our league in our conference on this side. We got New England next, and then we play Dallas on the 20th, and then we play Colorado on the 27th. So we really need to get 7 points out of this month if we can. Those are the 3 games this month. We need to try and get. I would be very happy if we could beat New England, tie Dallas, and get a win over Colorado. If we can't beat Colorado, we're really, really dropping easy points at that point.
Exactly. And, not as much the points for me is what I'm focused on. Like, yeah, I want the points. I think those will get sorted out by the end of the season. But only if we start right now and start getting some momentum. If we get momentum going, the wins are going to come, the goals are going to come, the points are going to come.
Yeah.
We just got to really start from ground zero and just create chances up front. Depend on Gressel to put in those amazing crosses like he's always done. Get Barco on the ball more. Let him cut in. He's been brilliant this season.
Yeah.
Have Petey play closer up with Josef, play in the number 10 spot, and draw in that defender, like you said, so Josef can work his magic and find a little gap for the ball to get slipped through.
Right, yeah.
We just got to find ways to create chances.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Anything new on Frank DeBauer that you've heard? Does it seem like the management's still giving him his time? I know the fans obviously are up in arms about it, but does it seem like he's kind of secure for the time being, or have you heard anything about?
For now, I think he's got the backing of the front office of the club, which is really all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The fans can grumble all they want, but like I said, I think it's going to happen. Once the game clicks, it's going to be fine. We're going to get back to where we were. I'm confident of that.
Right.
We just got to give it time. And the players, as far as they're concerned, I think they're frustrated too, but I think they do trust him. It's not easy to change this whole system, not have Miggy around. It's not an easy thing to do. I think people underestimate how tough it is to switch a whole system like this.
Oh, yeah. We see the same thing with some of the other coaches that came in. The new San Jose coach is a well-renowned coach, too, and, San Jose's been getting absolutely knocked off the field by the teams they've been playing. And so, it's no easy task to come into this league, even as a coach who's played in top leagues. It's a completely different beast. It's different in so many different ways. The skill level obviously is different, but it's a different style of play. There's a lot of different factors. So I agree. I haven't heard anything yet. I think the front office is trusting him to make the right moves. The cultural change is obviously going to be tough, and that takes a little bit more time, but I think it's still trending in the right direction. So.
Right. Yeah, I fully agree. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for the upcoming New England game, which is still over a week away.
Yeah.
But
yeah, me too.
I want to see some goals.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, so let us know in the comments, guys, what you want to see. in the game coming up against New England, and also what you thought of the Columbus game. Wasn't our best performance, but there was weather involved in all of that. Send us some questions, things that you want to talk about, things we haven't hit on. We'd love to discuss those as well. And just so you know, because there's not a game for a while from now, we will not be doing an episode next Wednesday, but it is every Wednesday after that going forward. So thank you again for, if you're still listening, for being here, and I will see you next week, guys. Have a good one.